Hey, so today we're going to go over my combat a little bit. I finally got the hit issues sorted out, and it's working really great. I've got impact direction working, depending on where you hit it left, right, back, or front. It'll react and play an animation that pushes it the other way. Particle effects you see spawn on the point of the blade connects, which also knows the bone and body part it connects to, meaning later on, oh yeah, I can remove the limbs for a critical hit kill. That could be a really cool method for giving deaths later in the game, something I'm definitely considering. The sound effects are some audio mixing I did from a professional sound pack I bought. Man, do I love it. I have to plan a little bit further out down the line, but ideally, I want to be able to control what the sound effects play depending on the armor type the NPC is wearing, or a player wears, and the weapon type the player is using. Something I should 100% be able to do. I have to figure it out a little bit more and get the conditioning right, but it's definitely planned in the future. The sounds you heard were for no armor or like cloth armor being hit by a sword. There'd be like a leathery slash, a light metallic hit, and a heavy hit. I also plan to have these for daggers, hammers, polearms, spears, etc. It's going to be a wide variety of sound impacts, not just slicing. You'll get like a hitting, a stabbing, a thumping, etc., depending on the weapon that's being used. So it's really cool. So what's next? Well, with what I currently have, I can make bashing doors in a thing. I probably would have had that in this video, but I wanted to take Saturday and Sunday off a little bit. Next big thing for me is going to be actual combat calculations. I'm not going to make NPCs fight back yet. I want to get hitting them right first. And to do that, I have to do things like damage calculation. There are two methods that I'm currently considering primary going at. System A, the miss system. This system is where you have a chance to miss the enemy based on their attributes in your weapon skill and your stamina, meaning you can outright miss doing no damage. Exhausted in fighting, you're easier to dodge. Not skilled with a weapon, you're easier to dodge. The problem with this system is you have to clearly explain it to a user or they're going to get frustrated. A lot of people bring this up with games like Morrowind, where if you go in with a weapon you're not skilled with, you start trying to stab a crab, you're not able to hit it. It's a big thing. I'm not sure I completely agree with that because, I mean, that's what you expect when you're not skilled with a weapon and you're trying to stab something. You're not going to be very effective with it. But you have to indicate it clearly, otherwise people complain. And I mean, no matter what you do, people are going to complain about this. Maybe I'm just being a coward, afraid to do a system like this initially, but I'm willing to still give it a try, get some feedback, and see how it goes. The other system, B, is the mitigation system. This system is where if your skill with a weapon isn't very good, your stamina is low, or their attributes are too far superior to yours, or the armor is too good, tink, you do a pitiful amount of damage or it's outright mitigated. So, for example, instead of missing, you're still hitting, but you're just not doing much, if anything at all. The best comparison I could think of for this is like the RPG system for Dark Souls, where if you pick up a weapon where your stats aren't good enough to use it, you get a big red X for the weapon. You can still use it, but you wield it unruly, and when you try to hit an enemy, it just kind of does pitiful damage, if anything at all. I'm a little apprehensive about this because it feels a little more actiony than RPG style, but I think it's a decent compromise between the two when you're trying to combine these two systems together. I've talked myself into System B a lot more. I think maybe that's because I'm a little worried about System A, but it just feels like it's a lot easier to implement for me. The thing is, it doesn't have dodging into the system, which you kind of would expect for like an RPG, but action either way when you think about it. My main concern about the system is that it might feel a little bit sponge damagey, but that's only if you suck with a weapon or they're a higher skill creature than you, which you'd kind of expect anyways. So I think that would negate it as long as you're skilled at combat against this thing. Only one way to really find out, and that's going to be testing both systems. Not sure when I'll have a video on that. It might be about 2 weeks. But we'll see. It's going to be a lot of calculating and testing and figuring things out and getting feedback from people. So that's going to be my next big project. Going forward, it's going to be mostly bare bones figuring that out. And once I get that figured out, I'm going to start fleshing it out more. So I'll start using more attributes into the factoring, getting that all worked out, and having the character being able to carry that out. So I think the next video would probably be me showcasing a variety of weapons where the character is skilled in using one type of weapon, maybe average in another, and just awful in the third, than having 3 dummies and going through using the different weapons and seeing what they look like. So that should be kind of interesting. And once I get that going, I should be able to take the same system and import it on NPCs and start having them fighting back against you, so you can test out and see what it's like to fight an enemy that's more skilled than you, an enemy that's about on the same level as you, and an enemy that's far weaker than you, and just seeing how that would play out depending on the weapons and everything you use. So that'll be interesting to get to, but that's going to be a little bit off. Well, I think that's about it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please do subscribe, like the video, share it around. That really helps. Me building up an audience is going to make it a lot easier to get this game off the ground and expand it faster and better. Thank you very much. See you guys in the next.